Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and Assalamu alaikum to everybody. I am Nazia Amir and going to discuss new topic which is workforce management. What is workforce management? Productivity is the results, output an organization gets for given amount of input. So productivity equals to output divided by input. Here I am going to show the table of measurement of productivity. So and it depends upon the organization inputs and outputs, and the organizations which may be manufacturing side, hospital or university. Total measure productivity. Total measure productivity equals to outputs divided by inputs, or goods and services produced divided by all resources used. Partial measure productivity. Partial measure of productivity equals to output divided by labor, or output divided by capital, or output divided by materials, or output divided by energy. Measurement of productivity. Productivity can be measured by employee equals to application processed divided by time taken, or application processed divided by wages paid. Productivity measurements. Comparing application per hour. Productivity of employee 1 equals to 96 application processed divided by 8 hours worked, result 12 applications per hour. Productivity of employee 2 equals to 160 application processed divided by 8 hours worked equals to 20 applications per hour. Comparing applications per dollar of wages. Productivity of employee 1 equals to 96 application processed divided by $6 per hour multiplied by 8 hours worked equals to 96 divided by 48 equals to 2.0. Productivity employee 2 equals to 160 application processed divided by $8 per hour multiplied by 8 hours worked equals to 160 divided by 64 equals to 2.5. Example of productivity measurement. You have just determined that your service employees have used a total of 2400 hours of labor this week to process 560 forms. Last week, the same crew used only 2000 hours of labor to process 480 forms. Is productivity increasing or decreasing? Answer. Last week productivity equals to 480 divided by 2000 equals to 0.24, and this week's productivity is 560 divided by 2400 equals to 0.23. So productivity is decreasing slightly. Constraints on productivity. Management limitations, employee attitudes and skill, government regulation and union rules. Improving productivity by improving quality. Quality analysts say that 20 to 40% of cost cover waste and the correction of defects. Part of a supervisor's job, therefore, is to think of and implement ways to get the job done right the first time. Improving productivity by controlling cost. Increase output, improve method, reduced overhead, minimize waste, regulate or level workflow, install modern equipment, train and motivate employees, minimize tardiness, absenteeism and turnover. Waste in operations. Anything other than the minimum amount of equipment, materials, part and workers, working time which are absolutely necessary for production. Fuzhou Chu of Toyota. Waste from overproduction, waste of waiting time, transportation waste, inventory waste, processing waste, waste of motion and waste from product defects. Work simplification. Work simplification is the common sense, step-by-step approach to studying jobs in order to improve them. 5 steps to work simplification are: select a job to improve productivity, Get the facts on the present method. Question every detail with why, what, where, when, who and how, and list possibilities of eliminating, combining, changing and improving. Work out an improvement. Implement the improvement and check results. Here I am going to show the graph of the cost of uneven workflow. What is the control process? It depends upon establishment of standards, measurement of actual performance, comparison of actual performance with the standards, and the last step is corrective action if necessary. And the most important thing for all 4 steps are the feedback. Establishing standards. How to establish the standards? Measure of what is expected. Defines what quality and quantity of work is acceptable. Example, the objective of 10% telephone sales office is to make 800 calls a day, 8 hours, resulting in 80 sales. Each person should average 10 calls per hour with 1 in 10 calls resulting in a sale. Each clerk has to process 20 applications per day. The objective is to assemble 100 cars a day. 1 car every 4.8 minutes should roll out of the assembly line. Monitoring performance, which is also a very important area for any production or any productivity. When monitoring performance, the supervisor should focus on how actual performance compares with the standard. Variance is difference between actual performance and performance standards. Exception principle. Supervisors should take action when the variance is meaningful. What is work? What is the definition of work? Physical or mental effort or activity directed towards the production or accomplishment of something. Work measurement is a process of analyzing jobs for the purpose of setting time standards. Measurable office work. The work is performed in a repetitive manner using a standard method. The work is performed regular from one time period to another, such as daily, weekly or monthly. The work contains elements that are countable, enabling it to be measured quantitatively. The work is of sufficient volume to justify the cost of being measured and controlled. No measurable office work. Assignments occurring infrequently, such as 1 or twice a year or irregularly. Approve formal training programs, conferences and seminars. Department and company meetings, machine downtime, maintenance and service. Time standards in the office. To determine the number of employees or machines required to perform office assignments. To determine or improve the schedule and distribution of work assignments. To compare individual or group performance with established standards. To determine or compare cost of performing operation, a procedure or a system. To provide the basis for determining regular and incentive pay. To provide an objective basis for evaluating the effect of changes made in work methods, organizational structure and personal problems. Approaches for determining time standards: historical data, estimation, work sampling, time study. Here I am going to end my video. If you like my video, do not forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so you can get notified when I post new content. Thank you.